about it. I've been thinking about it.
No, I'm cool.
Yeah, you sure?
I just have reservations. I'm good though.
Reservations about? I'm not excited. That's how we was going back and forth. I sent the text in.
And I was dying when I was reading the text.
I don't understand what's so deep about the text, though.
She feels like Tamika body shamed her in the text.
How?
Tamika said if you had an ass to kiss.
Tiny bye. It was a figure of speech. It was no thought in that. That's not body shaming.
That whatever happened in Vegas was very minor. She has to make the decision on if she just want to stay in that place or she want to move forward. We could really probably go on tour again and kill, right?
Look, sisters, like, I understand that y'all have internal issues, but the bigger picture is y'all are still together. So whatever y'all are going through, it can't be that bad that y'all can't work it out.
It's not even about that. It's about having peace at the end of the day. And it's also about communication.
Okay.
So, but we haven't been able to do that.
I cannot text her. She changed her number on our group members. And none of us had her number, but recently when we were in LA promoting the show, that was the week that the premiere episode was coming out, just to give you reference. 2 days before the show came out, that Friday, she texts Tiny from her new number. So that's how Tiny got the number, but the rest of us ain't got the number. None of us had the number. Yes, Tasha had a listening party while we were in LA promoting the premiere episode of the new TV show, well, the current TV show. And Tasha was out there promoting her album, so she had hints in an invitation to her listening party. And she invited Tiny, and then she said, oh yeah, and invite the girls.
Whatever it is that we need to go through and talk about, we're going to deal with it. We're going to get through it. And then our next step is going on some kind of tour or working with the girls.
Everybody may not feel that way. I might not feel like I want to go on tour.
People think that you're going to remain silent, and they're betting on your silence, hoping that you'll go along to get along. But they don't understand that they've pushed you too far. That there's another side of me that I try to keep in submission. But you tried to play me one too many times. God, y'all ain't helping me tonight, but God says, I need you to know your silent season is over. This year, I'm going to tell you how I really feel. This year is no holds barred. If you can't handle it, you might as well get out of my space, because I'm tired of biting my tongue and I done ran out of cheeks to turn.
Everybody wants it to be 4?
No, I don't know what everybody wants it to be at this point. But what I will say is, even though Tasha isn't doing the shows with us at this moment, or she didn't do these shows with us, we're still supportive of her and everything that she's working on.
I'm afraid to trust again. If you can't please hold my hand, I still want you. So don't move, 'cause I can't live this life by myself.
So she has a new solo project that's supposed to be coming next in 2023, I believe. So we just encourage everybody to please support her and her music and still support us in what we're doing. You know, I don't want, because our group goes through our ups and downs, I don't want people to feel like they got to take sides and not support one because they are supporting others. At the end of the day, we go through our beefs all the time. Like, we've been doing this since we was kids. So I always tell people, don't get so caught up in our mess, because you never know with us. We could be beefing today and then fix it tomorrow, you know?
What is really going on with you all?
Make me understand why you wanted to send a blast out to everybody.
I don't understand what's so deep about the text, though.
She feels like Tamika body shamed her in the text.
How?
Tamika said if you had an ass to kiss.
What do I do wrong?
When
You
you
stole my money. Mama didn't say nothing.
Girl, anybody steal your money?
When you and Rocky stole my money, Mama didn't say nothing.
Let's talk about you stealing money from me, and I forgave you. I would have never brought it up. That was years ago. I never brought it up. I never got paid back. I had to pay taxes on it, and I hid it from my husband. So guess what? My husband knows now. So he's sitting, he probably like, dang, I can't even trust you. So your sister them stole.
You think that was fair? Ain't nobody steal your money, girl.
Y'all didn't steal my money.
Girl, you ain't got no money to steal.
Y'all didn't steal my money.
You ain't got no money to steal.
My best friend was about to lock you up, and I told her don't do it. I gave her all the evidence.
Oh, wow,
You stole my money.
Never got the money back and had to pay taxes on the money. The only thing my mama said was, you don't know what she was going through at that time. That's what she said to me. And you know what, I forgave
and you
my
were
sister.
pregnant.
And I was pregnant.
By the way.
I was pregnant.
With our money.
I was pregnant with our money when this happened. And this beautiful thing was in college.
Yeah.
So we was paying out of pocket for her college. You don't think I could have used that money? But it got swept under the rug. Just like everything that my sister does gets swept under the rug. She's definitely my mom's favorite. And I get it.
This is crazy. Yesterday was, a lack of better words, is way, way out of control.
But let me ask you a question. Why my name come up?
What do I do wrong?
When you stole my money, Mama didn't say nothing.
Girl, nobody steal your
When
money.
you and Rocky stole my money, Mama didn't say nothing.
Listen, you can outlive a lie any day. I don't give the enemy that much energy. You know what I'm saying? When the truth is the truth, you don't even have to defend it. It defends itself. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, and which is why I call you the truth, because you ain't even got to defend it.
And I'm just tired of it.
My thing is this. When it comes down to family, I like to keep things, you know, we deal with it behind closed doors. And so that's what we do. My sister and I have been through a lot. And I'll say that when my father left, my sister's had issues with, you know, with things in life. And so we've always tried to keep that to the side. Whenever she's confronted with anything, it's always this, and that. And it has nothing to do with anything, to be honest with you. And I don't like to really talk about the things that we go through because I keep that behind closed doors. But as an older sister, there was no favoritism or anything like that. If you're the older sister, the mother or the father always comes to the oldest. They like, you know better. So talk to your little sister.
Yeah.
And so I didn't get a chance to really talk to her, and things kind of spiraled downhill because we didn't have that conversation. And Mom is a matriarch who helps put things together. Yeah. And my sister just lashes out. I love her, and I wouldn't want anybody else to talk about it, but we're going to make sure that we fix this with God's help, for sure. But no, this is all, you know, my thing is, the truth no one wants to hear when the lie is so much more exciting. So I'll just leave it right where it is.
At the end of the day, she's your sister.
She's still my family. Still my family, absolutely.
So will you tour with Escape? Will we see that?
Yeah, we're leaning towards, you know, the conversation about it, but I just wanted to make sure that the business was handled, you know, correctly. A lot of times when you bring other people in, it's like bringing somebody into your family dinner. If you guys are at odds, it's like, oh my gosh, you bringing someone else in.
My thing is, you said you wanted to talk about it and discuss it. We're here to talk, so let's just go ahead and talk about it and try to get through it.
We're dysfunctional. We don't hold ourselves accountable.
Why are you still mad at me?
Please.
Why are you still
We're not
mad?
finna do this because we're not finna do this.
We talking. Let's talk. Let's get everything out.
Because what we got to talk about is my mama, and I'm not doing this in front of everybody.
Your mama?
I'm not doing this. Our mother.
I don't even know how to fix it. People online saying, you guys need counseling. We do. It's like even no way around that. We need a Yana to come fix our life. It's like a mess.
We need to talk.
We'll just wait for y'all to have y'all conversation, and then we'll try to come back together afterwards about possibly doing a show with SWV.
So we just started our new show on Bravo this past Sunday. And the drama is already showing some things, okay? On the first episode, it's already set off. Now, I hate this about my group, and I love my group, okay? But I hate this about my group, that we just can't get it together. We are a walking TV show. Our drama is real. It is not fake. It is not made up. And a matter of fact, the drama that you see happening on the show is still going on. Real time. That is so sad. Okay, so here's some tea that you may not be privy to. Last week, we had to go out of town to promote our show that was airing on Sunday. So, our group, some of us, well, I say Tamika Tiny and myself, we did a lot of promo together, but as four, meaning with Tasha, we only did 2 things. Anyway, other than that, all the rest of the press, we just did just 3. And then obviously we had to do this big press junket for Bravo that they put with both groups, and they separated us as groups, y'all. And I mean, I guess it would have been a lot to have 2 groups up there at the same time answering questions, so they did 1 group at a time, like we just took turns. Anyway, but while we were on the purple carpet. It wasn't a red. It was like a purple carpet day for their theme. They asked us questions, and Tamika and Tasha started going at it. No. Well, they start having words on the carpet. It was a mess. So basically, you know, the network, or I don't want to blame the network, or whoever, the powers that be, did not allow us to watch the episode before we did press, because I guess they thought we would already be so upset with each other that we wouldn't have been able to do press together. Which they probably right. But anyway, so sometimes we were asked questions about things that we didn't know what was shown on the show. So we didn't know what the people saw. We know what we had been through, but we didn't know what was on the first episode. With that being said, one of the people who had asked the question, I think it was People Magazine, they said something like, so how do you guys feel, you know, how do you, Tasha and Tamika, how do you all feel about everything, you know, especially with your mother? Oh, and Tasha was like, well, I mean, I'm very close to my mom. I just don't like the disrespect of my mother. And then Tamika was like, what you mean disrespect? I didn't disrespect. It was like, and then she started saying stuff, and then it was like getting a little heated. And then Tamika just walked off from the interview. In the middle of the interview, yeah, she just walked off. So we needed 5 minutes to regroup. And yeah, that's just a piece of it. Raymond says, Candy, please, you, Tiny, and Tamika, go all out with these shows you have coming up. I am appalled by the stuff I've seen, and I want y'all to prove y'all don't need her. Bring out all the stops from outfits, pyro, everything. Make her regret it this time. Escape needs to stay booked all year. First of all, thank you, Raymond. Let me tell you something. In the course of doing this show, which was we filmed last summer, after that, you know, it was online that we were doing shows as 3 people, and I think, you know, people didn't know what was going on between the group, so some people thought like we were doing her wrong in some kind of way. So I was hoping that once people saw the show, they would understand our feelings. But to answer your question, honey, yes, we are going all out. We go out all out for every show. Like all the shows that we did at the end of last year were lit. These shows that are coming up are going to be no different. We got shows that are coming up in San Antonio, Texas, DC, Detroit, yes, Chicago, Ontario, California. We'll be out there for Mother's Day. Yeah, we got lots of shows. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who are getting tickets to the shows. It really means a lot because, you know, somebody was acting like we couldn't do a show unless they were there. And I'm like,
I've been wanting to do this for a very, very long time. I just want music that's relatable, and I want to write. We started in a group where, you know, men were writing a lot of the lyrics, and I feel like when we write them, it comes from home, and I want to make sure that I do that.
Like, why now and why solo?
Well, when you've been part of a group, it's very hard to speak your truth.
But at the time, we didn't know that she already had her solo deal in place. We knew something was going on because this same attitude and same behavior is the same thing that she did to us back when we was teenagers and she decided she wanted to go solo. For whatever reason, she always has to make everything a problem, or we all this problem, and that's the reason why she needs to go and do her own thing. Instead of just saying, hey, you know what, guys, you know, I have another music opportunity I want to explore, so I'm not sure if I can commit to a full tour, but this is what I can do.
Well, okay, so the third album, in the midst of making the third album, Tasha comes to us and say, you know, I want to go solo. I don't even want to do this third album. I'm not even doing it. So then they basically, it's like, we was waiting. We thought we was going to get all this money, like millions of dollars. Like, yo, we finna get this big deal. And, you know, I think we really would have until they found out that one of our group members don't want to be here. So now we don't even know if she's going to be here or not. So, and she also pretty much told them, you know, she had them, They put in the contract that basically if we did the third album, she did the third album, and she at least recorded it, and I don't think she had to do any promotions really, that they would give her a solo album. So that's the way she ended up doing it, the third album. So we ended up doing the third album, but we didn't do any promotion because after she did it, she's like, okay, I'm out. You know, she had fulfilled her, you know, her what she had to do as far as her contracts. Yeah, I mean, I'm not throwing any shade. I mean, I'm just giving you the real.
Tammy says, bring Tiny and Tamika separately on Speak On It. I do plan on doing that. And Marcus asks, Candy, do you think if you brought Tamika alone on Speak On It that it would cause more drama within the group? Ooh, so it's funny that different people want me to bring them separately and alone. That came from 2 different comments. I think we're at a place that it doesn't matter what happens. It's always going to be drama in our group. Like, we never really totally talk through anything. We just, like, it's crazy. Like, some, Mona said, do you think people gonna think it's fake how you guys just jump on the stage? Like, we literally can have a full out blowout argument, cuss each other out, whatever, and go right on that stage and do what we gotta do for the fans. And a lot of times we don't really talk through the problem. Like, the problem is just forever going. We'll come together to do the business, but we didn't resolve anything.
It's clear that she can't move on until y'all get the real shit out.
What you mean?
Why she doesn't really care for you, why she resents you.
The dislike started when we were younger, and it's been going on so long, it's to the point where you can't even pinpoint it no more.
Tasha and Candy finally got into a fight as well. And it just seemed like it was a long overdue time because they were always kind of back and forth. And it finally escalated into a real fight. And I just remember us rehearsing. I don't remember what we were rehearsing for, but that rehearsal hall was turned upside down.
Ever since the meeting with my mom and my sister, everything to me has just been spiraling out of control.
I do pray y'all get it together because when you think of Escape, especially in the 90s, you guys were so magical to the world because it just was a real sisterhood, and I think that's why you guys still here today. But when it comes to you and Candy, you know, I mean, honestly speaking, you guys have just never been on the same page.
What's the worst things that you guys have done, like if you got upset at someone? Ooh, like something real petty and juicy.
Petty? Well, I don't know about petty, but I got in a fight one time.
Oh, like a fist fight?
Yes, in my group, since we talking about girl groups, yes, when arguing with one of my members, she swung on me and we tore that room up. What? I mean, tore the whole room up, tore up the keyboards, the doggone amps broke.
And I'm about to know who was in the group.
I don't even give you all that information. Who won, Candy? Who won the fight, I ain't give you all that. You know, I don't like to be biased. So I always say, if Tiny ever comes on the show, you can ask her about it. Let her tell you. But
Tiny, come on.
No, we didn't fight. I'm saying she was.
She was
like
the referee. Exactly.
Yeah,
okay, so it's the 2 other ones. What else?